Today, we are diving into one of the most mind-bending artifacts ever pulled from the ancient world. Seriously, it's an object so far ahead of its time, it shouldn't exist. This is the incredible story of the Antikythera mechanism.
Just let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about science fiction here. This is a real thing, a mechanical wonder that completely flips the script on what we thought ancient civilizations were capable of.
So our story kicks off like all the best ones do, completely by accident. Back in 1900, a crew of Greek sponge divers got knocked off course by a nasty storm. They hunkered down near this little island, Antikythera, and when the weather cleared, they went for a dive. What they found wasn't just sponges, but an ancient shipwreck that had been sitting on the seafloor for 2,000 years.
Now this wreck was loaded with treasure. I mean, gorgeous bronze statues, fancy glassware, coins, the whole shebang. And mixed in with all that amazing stuff was this thing, a gross, greenish, corroded lump of bronze, about the size of a big textbook. It got hauled up to the museum in Athens, and, well, nobody paid any attention to it. It just looked like a piece of junk.
But then, 2 years go by, and an archaeologist sees that the lump has cracked open. And what he saw inside was impossible. Tiny, delicate, interlocking gear wheels. This wasn't just a lump of metal. It was a machine. A really sophisticated machine from an age that just wasn't supposed to have anything like it. And that kicked off a mystery that we're still trying to solve today.
So what exactly was hidden inside that hunk of corroded bronze? Well, after decades and decades of work, researchers basically uncovered a whole universe in miniature.
Okay, so imagine trying to put together a 2,000-year-old jigsaw puzzle that got shattered and then soaked at the bottom of the ocean. That's pretty much what scientists were up against. After all that careful preservation work, that one lump turned out to be 82 separate, incredibly fragile fragments.
And inside those 82 pieces, they found the real prize. At least 30 precision-made bronze gears. We're not talking simple cogs either. This was a super complex system, with gears riding on other gears in these elaborate patterns. It's a level of engineering that humanity wouldn't see again for like 1,000 years. It's just wild.
So what was the point of all these gears? What did it do? Well, it was nothing less than an astronomical computer. It could track the sun and the moon, and get this, it could predict solar and lunar eclipses with unbelievable accuracy. It even modeled these super complex cosmic cycles, like the 19-year Metonic cycle, which aligns up the solar and lunar calendars, and the even more complex 54-year Saros cycle for predicting eclipses down the line. Oh, and for good measure, it also tracked the 4-year cycle for the Olympic Games.
You can almost think of it as having like a user interface. On the front, a big dial showed the calendar, the 365-day Egyptian one, and the position of the sun and moon against the signs of the zodiac. But the back dials, that's where the real magic was. It had these cool spiral pointers that kept track of all those complicated eclipse cycles. It was basically a portable, mechanical model of the entire cosmos.
Now, figuring all of this out was not easy. Not at all. It took more than 100 years of intense, detective-like work using better and better technology to peek inside the mechanism's secrets.
Yeah, the quest to understand this thing is a whole story in itself. It started with that first glimpse of a gear back in 1902. Then, in the 70s, researchers used X-rays to see just how complex it was. A huge leap forward came in 2005 with 3D scanning, which lets scientists read tiny inscriptions hidden inside. It was like finding an ancient Greek user manual. And believe it or not, the discoveries are still coming.
Which brings us right up to the present day. Just in 2024, brand new X-ray techniques have revealed even more. Scientists found inscriptions that were totally invisible before, including the names of the planets known to the ancient Greeks. This changed everything. Suddenly, we knew the device wasn't just tracking the sun and moon, it was modeling the entire known solar system.
But here's the twist. The way the planets were named wasn't what anyone expected. It actually suggests that this device wasn't the work of just one genius or one school of thought. It looks more like a brilliant combination, a collaboration between different Greek astronomy traditions. So every time we think we've got it figured out, the mystery just gets bigger. And of course, a device this brilliant leads to the biggest question of all. Who on Earth could have possibly dreamed this up and actually built it, way back in the 1st century BC?
Now, I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. Who had that perfect storm of astronomical knowledge, mathematical brilliance, and, the actual mechanical skill to make something with these kinds of precision gears? The list of people who could pull that off is really, really short. But we do have two massive clues hidden in the fragments themselves. First, the way it's built is so good it has to be the product of a long tradition of gear making, right? But here's the crazy part. This is the only complex geared machine ever found from ancient Greece. It's like a technological ghost. And second, the writing on it, it doesn't point to Athens. It points to Syracuse, which just so happens to be the home of the one and only Archimedes.
You see, ancient texts tell stories about this legendary device Archimedes built called the Sphera or the Sphere. It was supposed to be a mechanical bronze model of the heavens that showed how the planets, the sun, and the moon all moved. Does that sound a little familiar? For centuries, people just thought it was a cool legend.
Except it wasn't just a legend. The Roman philosopher Cicero, around the exact same time the Antikythera ship went down, wrote that he had seen one of these things with his own two eyes. He described a device from Archimedes that could perfectly show the cosmos in motion. This is an eyewitness account. So while the Antikythera mechanism might not be Archimedes' original, it could absolutely be a later model, built in the style of the greatest inventor of the ancient world.
The fact that this one object even exists forces us to ask a really deep and honestly kind of uncomfortable question about what we think we know about history. I mean, if this one device survived just by pure dumb luck at the bottom of the ocean, what else didn't make it? This thing wasn't a one-off miracle. It came from a tradition, from a body of knowledge we didn't think was possible back then. So, what else did they know how to do? What other incredible things could they build? Just think about it. How much knowledge vanished when the Library of Alexandria burned? How many other bronze marvels like this were just melted down over the centuries to make swords or coins? How many other impossible inventions are just gone, completely wiped from the history books? And that leaves us with this one final, really haunting question. Was the Antikythera mechanism just a singular flash of brilliance from a mind like Archimedes, someone way ahead of his time? Or is it the last lonely survivor, the final ghost of an entire branch of technology that has been totally and completely lost to us? I'd love to know what you think.